Like,
All right.
well,
Well, maybe there'll be some like day baseball games on tomorrow. I can use it. I can pretend like I'm feeling sick, even if I'm not.
Hopefully, the shitty Cubs are playing baseball tomorrow.
Or Cubs.
He's just gonna leave.
Hey everybody, welcome to CurlingNation episode 16, A Wee Bit Scottish. I'm Joel Dietz, joined by Garret Perry, Craig Brown, and always Mike McDermid.
Hey.
Later on the show, we're going to be joined by Scottish women's skip Eve Muirhead from the Bubble in Calgary.
She's not in Scotland.
She's not in Scotland anymore.
God, I hope she's
Scotland.
The Bubble in Calgary. She played in a couple slams, worlds coming up. But first of all, thanks to Alchemy for the support of CurlingNation, ALQIMI.com. Alchemy is a data software IT services company with over 20 years of exemplary past service. Alchemy sees tremendous ways where properly used technology can accelerate knowledge and improve our world. So thanks to Alchemy, ALQIMI.com for the support of CurlingNation.
Dude, how ahead of the game was Alchemy.com? Like, they were doing analytics before analytics were even a thing. Good for them. Nice.
Yep. They know what they're doing.
Yeah. Maybe that's why they like us.
We're ahead of the game.
Yeah. All right.
Not sure. Not sure what the game is. Not sure anybody else is playing this game, but we're ahead of the game.
We're ahead of it. Damn it, we're ahead of the game.
Yeah.
What we got for updates?
There's 2 positive cases of COVID at Women's Worlds.
All right. I don't want to stir any.
So the way the report said it was, it looked like it was teams that came in.
Yeah. Did it say the same team or different teams?
It was 2 people on the same team.
Right.
I bet it's the Germans. It's the Germans.
But that the second player was tested negative, retested a next day, and then the third day got the positive test. So they had 3 tests before they actually hit.
I didn't see that.
I thought they tested negative twice, and then the third one was pop.
Right, the third pop they hit positive.
I'm sure there'll be more information coming out faster than this podcast will.
Oh man, this is going to be a gong show.
We hope it goes.
Hopefully there is a women's worlds, because they've already screwed it up once. Yeah. Well, they couldn't have it in Switzerland.
Yeah.
So hopefully they have it in Calgary.
Yep. So we're turning around this episode pretty quick because we were able to get even in between slams and worlds. Mm-hmm. So we figured since she was on this side of the pond, let's get her on.
Oh, damn it. I was going to ask her that. Well, maybe, yeah. Like, do you think anybody in England's like this side of the pond or that side of the pond? Do you think they hate that? I bet they
Well, when I watch the TV, they talk about it all the time.
Really?
On this side of the pond.
But is it like when you go to
a U.S. thing? Like as a North
I don't know.
American
That's
thing?
what I was going to say. Is it like when you go to Atlanta and it's like nobody calls it Hot Atlanta, or nobody calls it I don't know. There's another one that's nobody.
ATL.
Like the Big Apple. Nobody calls New York the Big Apple. Do they?
They do in the 80s.
Fine. I got nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Fine.
So this will be
Your question, Mike, is: do people in Europe also say the other side of the pond?
Yeah. Like, is that
referring to North America?
Yeah.
Is that a phrasing over there?
Is that a thing? Yeah. I don't know. It just.
I think it is. I've heard it frequently on English shows. So yeah.
All right. Well, and if
what do you do? What English shows are you watching?
Yeah.
And why?
All of them.
All of them. Like on the BBC, you're a big BBC watcher, Garret.
Yeah.
PBS,
BBC. All those English shows.
I think you're full of shit, Garret.
Yeah.
I think you're absolutely 100% full of shit.
They said it on The Crown. That's what they said it on.
All
I
right,
heard her. The Queen said it. The other side of the pond.
All right, hold on. Stop the show.
So
this has nothing to do with the Queen.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Shock G. DMX. We talk about walk-up songs.
Yes.
Digital Underground, The Humpty Dance, DMX, any number of songs, great walk-up songs. Rest in peace to those guys.
Whoa,
Sorry,
how'd he die?
I didn't want to just
How'd
stop
they
the
die?
show, but we just had to stop the show.
How'd they die?
I don't know.
DMX had some complications with substance abuse.
Yeah, probably.
And
I mean,
I hadn't heard anything about Shock G, about what happened.
I don't know.
He was pretty young.
But they,
yeah.
I mean,
But agreed, yeah.
influential 90s / early 2000s hip hop artists, guys we all listen to.
Which is a substantial part of the CurlingNation podcast.
Yeah, the CurlingNation podcast playlist. Rest in
Now,
peace.
this is the dumb white guy talking in the room, but were they not rappers at that time and not hip hop artists?
Rappers, hip hop artists, potato, tomato, whatever.
All the same.
All the same thing. Don't matter.
Yeah. So. Rest in peace to those guys.
I would argue with with just about anybody that the Humpty Dance is one of the greatest songs of all time.
I mean, I know
everybody knows it.
Everybody loves the Humpty Dance
because everybody's been to a wedding before.
Well, because it broke into the white culture. That was one of the first songs to like break in before. They're one of the first songs to break into white culture.
But yeah. Anyway, I hate to derail the show there, but those guys, they deserve it, even though they're not curlers.
I'm pouring out.
And pouring a little out for Shachi and DMX. All right. Do we have any more updates?
No.
No.
I was just gonna say that we're gonna take a little break. This episode's coming out a little quick, and hopefully this will quench your podcast thirst for a bit, because some of us are gonna be in the bubble in Wausau later on in May. So we're not gonna be around to do a podcast. So we're gonna to wrap up the season. We're gonna do one more. A wrap-up episode after Wausau, and that'll probably wrap up the season for us.
We might even have more than just you and me in this studio. Like Garret might come in. Garret or Craig might come in. We'll see.
We are all vaccinated now.
We're vaxxed. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see.
But watch it. What's it going to be on the? Nationals are probably going to be on the TESN. Go to the USA Curling page. Watch Nationals.
Yep.
You're gonna be Joel. You're gonna be in. Craig, you're gonna be competing.
Yep.
We'll let the cat out of the bag.
I'll be doing some live streaming there. So
I might try and steal up and get on the microphone for a day or so, for Nats or something. I don't know. Nobody wants that, but I do.
We could probably make that happen.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
I don't think anybody really wants that bad.
No.
Yeah.
I said I don't think anybody wants that. Not even me.
Yeah, I guess I was agreeing with you.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
That's fine.
Thank you very little.
All right. Well, if that's all the time we have for updates, let's get Eve on.
Absolutely. All right. Welcome to the show. Definitely our first European curler, so that's a real treat. She's a one-time world champ, Olympic bronze medalist, 2-time European champ, 4-time junior world curling champ, won 6 Grand Slams. I hear she's a real good golfer. She plays the bagpipes. I'm not sure she could get more Scottish. Welcome to the show, Eve Muirhead. Eve, how are you doing today?
Good, sir. Good. Looking forward to the show.
Absolutely, yeah. Like I said,
you're calling it a show.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm getting this. Joel and I both have this question, and I'm getting it out of the way right away. Now, it says last year at the birthday honors, you were appointed to the member. You're an appointed member of the Order of the British Empire. Does that mean you're like? Are you like Lady Eve Muirhead? Are you like Sir Paul McCartney? Like, were you knighted?
No, not quite to that same extent. It just means you're part of the Queen's birthday honour. So it's a member of the British Empire. So really, you can call me now Eve Muirhead MBE.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll do that. No problem.
Doesn't change me as a person. It's just like a recognition for what you've done, and it's it's a pretty good honor, nice honor to get in Britain. So I was pretty excited and also surprised as well that I got it.
That's awesome. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And how many people get this honor?
I honestly don't know. It's not loads and loads of people. It's on the Queen's birthday. She kind of puts out a list, and that's also included in the list when you become like a sir or you get knighted and things like that. And the good part of it is you get a trip down to London to receive your honour, and I'm sure you can make the most of a trip to London with a few drinks and take the family and things whenever we can.
Well, of course.
You get a plaque or a pin or anything that you can like walk around town with to say, "Hey, I'm a royal member of the Empire."
It's like a kind of pin thing you get. That's pretty cool. But I'm not one of those people that kind of show off things that I've got. So I'm sure it will go into a drawer somewhere. And hardly ever taken out, if I'm honest.
Not big with tattoos either. You can like tattoo it on the side of your arm or anything.
Oh no, I've got enough tattoos. There'll be no more.
That's awesome. Yeah. So
wait a minute. I gotta
right.
stop for a second. How many tattoos do you have?
Yeah.
3.
3.
All right.
No.
I bet I can guess one.
I'm gonna say 2 of them are Olympic themed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
The rings.
All right.
Yeah.
And what's the other one?
Probably it's got to be the Scottish thistle.
No.
Is it your family crest? Do you have a family?
No, we do,
No.
but it's not that.
That's not that.
It's the world, like when I won the world. So,
All right. Cool. That was
yeah.
in.
I'm waiting to add some more years on. Hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
So you're saying there was never a drunken brawl where you just like fell into a tattoo parlor and got a random
Derek, come
tattoo?
on. She's
Well,
marvelous.
actually, if I'm perfectly honest, the world one, yes.
I tell you, Mike.
Okay.
That happened in New York after quite a few drinks.
Good.
We went and booked it, and then it was the next day. We're like, oh my god, what have we actually done?
Nice. That's pretty cool.
Well, at least it was something
That's a great
appropriate.
story.
Exactly. Could have been a lot worse.
That's awesome. All right.
Where
go ahead.
where was the Worlds when you won?
I think it was Riga, wasn't it?
Latvia.
Yeah.
Yeah, Riga. Yeah.
You were in Latvia, and then you stumbled into New York for a tattoo on the way home?
I like that. No, what happened was I was on my way to the Sick Kids charity event in Toronto. And we kind of tied it in with a trip to New York for a few days before we went to Toronto. So that was good. It was good fun.
Nice. That's cool.
So do you want to throw
That's,
someone under the bus whose fault it was that kept feeding you drinks all night?
Yeah. Was that Anna's
No,
fault or?
it was just me and my teammate. We were just there we had a lot of fun, and as I say, we then went on to the Sick Kids charity event in Toronto and raised lots and lots of money and drank lots and lots of drink.
I can't afford to go to that one. I want to go to was it Curl for
It's-
Kids? Is that right?
Yeah,
I heard it's pretty.
tough. And I went, a couple of years I've been there, and it's such a great event. Like Pete Stetsky was the organizer, and he makes it so fun. Put it this way, the curling's not so fun. The morning after, which you'd know from the lupus field, very similar to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all House of Hearts alums.
Yeah,
so.
we're all seasoned charity spielers,
Yes.
so we know that curling comes second, if not like third or fourth on the charity spiel.
But you're on the list.
That's right. Yeah,
I've always scratched my head at that. All these like big charity events with big fundraising always entails a lot of drinking. It
does.
About, why is that?
I think that
To be
loosens
honest-
up the wallets, doesn't it?
Here you go to drink.
I think that
I
loosens
think
everybody's
that's
wallet up.
what attracts people, though. Like, I think that attracts the curlers and the people to have the fun. And I think the amount of money that's spent on drink still is very little in comparison to what money they bring in for the charity. And obviously, the more people drink, the more people donate. So they're clever. They're clever.
Absolutely.
Same reason they have cocktail waitresses going around Vegas.
Yeah. I mean.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spend more money.
Yeah.
That's happened in Vegas to me.
Yeah. I mean, we could.
Right.
Yeah. We could talk a lot of curling. I was reading your Wikipedia profile, and it said that you were offered 2 scholarships to play golf in the United States. Is that right?
Yeah, years ago when I was younger, I played a lot of golf. Like I played it very competitively, and I had to kind of make the decision, like, do I carry on golfing or do I want to pursue my curling? And the way years ago it worked and it happened was I could golf in the summer and curl in the winter. But the way curling's kind of evolved in Scotland, and I guess in every country, it's more of a full-time job, and you can't juggle both. So the decision was pretty easy for myself. And yeah, I still golf now, but only kind of socially, and I can get it around in a decent number occasionally.
Yeah, you still have a handicap? Yeah. What are you going off at
I
now?
do. I think I'm off, it is a real handicap, but it's 3 right now, but I could not play to.
You don't play to a 3.
I reckon I'd be
even if you're like a 5 or a 6, you're still.
I reckon I would struggle to stick to like single figures.
All right.
I've been to the range a couple times this year, but yeah, they're a little wayward.
That's fine.
Working progress.
Who wanted you to play golf? Go ahead, Garret.
Have you been invited to charity golf outings, and is it the same amount of libation in a golfing tournament as a curling tournament?
I have. I've been to quite a few, and they're social, yes. You know, I can curl hungover, but I cannot golf hungover.
Oh no.
But yeah, like they are pretty. I would say the biggest one I've been to, it's a celebrity cup event that was at Celtic Manor. So it was like Scotland, England, Ireland, and Wales, and like each team had, it was about 6 celebs, I think. But it was the most social, drunken, fun 4 days I've ever experienced. When I get drawn in the first match against Wales, and it's Gareth Bale, you know, the footballer, and Sir Gareth Edwards, the rugby legend, the older guy. So you're playing these 2 Welsh legends in Wales, and you get to your bed at like 5 a.m. and you're kind of crawling to the tee at like 8:30. It wasn't fun. Gareth Bale, being the athlete he is, like he eating salads, drinking water, up to his bed by 9 o'clock.
He's no fun. He's no fun.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, that seems like cheating. Like I think that's a way to get not invited back to a charity event. Is if you
I would agree with you. Yes.
Go to bed at 9 o'clock eating salads.
Well, the players at charity spiels that we've been to, they get harassed pretty good if they're not seen past a certain time.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Just part of it.
Have you played St. Andrews?
I have. I've played St. Andrews several times.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's a nice.
Rub it in.
Rub it in, why don't you?
Yeah.
Jeez,
Craig's played it. You two can chat after the show about how awesome it is and rub it in our noses.
Yeah, St. Andrews is nice. It's nice.
What's your favorite?
Sorry, go ahead, Garret.
Favorite course?
My favorite course, I would actually say Turnberry, in Scotland. Like I love it. I actually haven't played it since Trump's made his changes. But before that, like I was lucky enough to play the British Ladies Pro-Am. I was actually paired with Brooke Henderson, you know, the Canadian golfer. So I was lucky enough to play the round with her. And it was after that, you know, she went on to win the majors and everything. So
clearly,
all down to me.
Clearly, it had something to do with you.
All you, because of you.
Yeah.
Good work. Have you been able to go in the clubhouse at St. Andrews? Because I know that was closed off to women until not too long ago.
Yeah, no, I haven't. I've never been in. It's a very, as you know, it's a very exclusive club, and no, I haven't. I've not been fortunate enough to do that.
Not even Eve Muirhead, MBE. She can't get in the club.
Wow, she's just recently MBE.
Unfortunately, no. Next
Maybe-
time I'll maybe take a medal with me and
Yeah,
flash
do that.
it.
Yeah, flash it.
Yeah.
in.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
then give him the bird on the way out. So
No, don't do that. No, can't do that. Curling. How were the slams? You were in both of them, right?
Yeah, like the slams were good. Obviously, the results weren't really what we wanted, but even just to get the chance to come out here and compete was awesome. And for us, like, we've done a lot of training at home, and we've played on the same ice conditions since about August, and it's hard to then get thrown into, I would say, the world's best events. Like, you've got the top 10 in the world competing in the slam, and every game we won, I would say we thoroughly deserved it, and the games we lost actually all came down to more or less the last stone. So it was a tough event, but let's just hope the kind of wins are waiting for the Worlds next week.
There you go.
So who knows?
Knock on wood, assuming it goes off, right?
Well, that's it. Like, obviously, we've had the news that there is a couple of positive COVID tests here, and it's just a waiting game to find out kind of what the consequences are of that. But it's never smooth, is it? There's always something.
No. Well,
So last year, did you make it all the way to Swift Current? Not Swift Current.
Prince George.
Prince George. Did you make it all the way there?
Did. We flew into Vancouver. We trained for 3 days, just normal. Did everything as you would, and then we got the flight up to Prince George. Following day, we were due to have like the official practice, and we were out having our lunch, and I got the call to say it's cancelled. So next flight home, and that was the last time before this trip I was actually on a plane, which is bizarre. But I just never imagined, even a year on or over a year, we'd still be in a similar circumstance, having to wear masks, having to isolate, having to be in rooms on our own, having to eat out of cardboard boxes and plastic cutlery. It's no fun, but I'm just thankful that we get the opportunity to curl.
Yeah, we talked with
Sure.
Wayne and Glenn 2 episodes ago, and they said they were getting pretty sick of the food.
Yeah. Like, you could get deliveries and things in, which is great, and before you come, it sounds fantastic. Oh, we're just going to get food delivered in every day. We'll get it from our favourite restaurants. But after a couple of weeks, you just want a home-cooked meal, and you want to just eat with normal cutlery on a nice plate. It's the small things in life right now.
For sure. How much?
Give me a fork and a table.
Yeah.
You didn't pack your own cutlery after your learning experience.
What's that? Sorry?
You didn't pack your own cutlery after the learning experience. Then you kept.
Well, I actually have nicked some from the room service though.
Good.
I was like, I'm keeping that. Thank you.
There you go. Good move. Pro move. How much ice were you able to get? It sounds like you said you had the same conditions since August. Did I hear?
Yeah, we were very fortunate that we had training ice since I think it was about the 3rd of August in Stirling at the National Curling Academy. So we've been able to train for quite a long time now. Obviously, there was very strict protocols in place with like your temperature checks, distance, masks, and things like that.
Right.
But it was more or less, it was still like isolation as such. Like, I only really went from my house to the ice rink back to my house. So all the shops were shut. Only essential shops like supermarkets were open. So it still wasn't the same. And not to get the international competition and not to be able to kind of pack your bags up and fly away to a tournament was very different.
Were you able to scrimmage Bruce and the boys, or I think there's another women's team, right?
Yeah, like we had
a little
a
younger
few.
than you.
Yeah, we had a few like domestic competitions within the curling club that allowed us to kind of get some competitive games like under our belt. But it's always hard to get motivated for these, and when you're playing for a $100 Nike voucher, it's just not the same as what you do when you're on the road. And we were lucky enough to get to play. Well, we played the boys a lot, as you know, Bruce Moat and things. They were there too, and we practiced and trained a lot with those guys, and we just kind of made the best and the most out of a bad situation and tried to just kind of get ourselves in the best headspace possible, knowing that hopefully the world champs, the slams, were going to take place, and luckily they are, and that's where we are just now.
Sure. That makes sense.
So I saw you got to throw some rocks outside.
Yeah, I had a wee bit of fun at the farm with my brothers. I'm not sure I'd call it. Well, I'd say it was just like launching the stone up there. It was actually the first.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, it's the first time I've ever curled outside.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Which
got
is
the chance
bizarre.
to do that. We got the chance to do that this winter here. We made some ice in a park not too far from my house and played some outdoor leagues, outdoor spiel. It was fun.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun, and it's something you can say you've done. My brothers were into it a little bit more than me, but it was good fun, a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Are your brothers still next door neighbors with Derek?
Yeah. Yeah, Del, well, more or less. Like, he's pretty close to us all, to be fair. I like Del Boy. I've got a lot of time for him. I think he's a great guy, and he's actually out here. Well, he's in the other hotel just now isolating, because pretty sure, well, he is. He's the coach for Estonia, I think.
Okay.
So he's isolating in the other hotel, just waiting on the next news, I guess.
Got it.
But I know Glenn, like my older brother, like he's a farmer, and I know Dell's quite often on the phone, like my garden's overgrown. I need some sheep down here. So then we'll take down. I think it's just Dell not wanting to bother cutting his grass, to be fair.
Probably.
Why cut it?
Well, one day when I was one time when I was over there playing the Perth Masters, he was complaining because some of the sheep came in and ate one of his trees. And he was blaming your brothers for not tending their sheep properly or something. I don't know, but
Oh, probably Glenn
So you're
not
saying
keeping
these
the benches
sheep
out
aren't
or something.
trained? Come on now.
It's always somebody else's fault.
yeah.
You know.
So he's a sheep farmer then, yeah?
Yeah, both my brothers are sheep farmers, so they're busy just now with like lambing season. So it's chaos at home. So I'm actually quite glad I'm away, because they're just grumpy. They don't get any sleep. They're up all hours of the night.
Are you talking about your brothers or the sheep?
Yes.
Both? Mainly my brothers. So they enjoy that, and they don't actually curl like competitively anymore. So like they obviously have to make money some way, so that's what they do. They're the farmers.
Got it.
Is that a family farm that, or did they just start into that?
Yeah, it's the family. Like my dad, he was a farmer. His parents were farmers, and it kind of came through the family. So my brothers kind of inherited it off my dad and his dad, and it just kind of moved down the chain, if you know what I mean.
Sure. What? So you said your current handicap, technically you're like a 3, but you think you probably played about an 8.
Yeah, round about 8 maybe, a little higher. If I was playing a match against anyone, I'd say I was about 20.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. I wouldn't
You
stand a
need to win
chance,
money.
and I'm a 15. I guarantee I wouldn't stand a chance.
No, I need to, when I get home from this event, hopefully the weather's decent, and I'm going to try and get a few rounds in this summer if I can, because
There you go.
like all our courses and everything were shut as well because of the COVID with lockdown, so they're only really kind of opening up again. So it'll be a good opportunity when I get home to get the clubs out.
Got it.
How much time will you take away from curling once you get done with Worlds?
Well, technically we get until the start of July. So we get a couple months break, which will be nice. I don't know the exact dates right now. So yeah, like it'll be nice. We're still waiting to hear whether we need to isolate and stuff when we get home, but if we do, then that'll dig into a couple weeks of it. But just the way everything is just now, like everything you've just got to kind of take with a pinch of salt, don't you? And just kind of take every week as it comes, not knowing what's going to happen. Like rules could change within hours, within days. So it's just a case of having an open mind with how long we're going to have off, like how long we've got to stay isolated, or you name it. We just don't know the answers.
So what's your quarantine like when you go back to the UK?
Well, that's one of the questions that we don't even know the answer to. Like, it keeps changing.
Oh my!
Like
Of
right
course
now,
it does.
right now, because we're athletes, you get an exemption, but then we're recommended by the Scottish government to quarantine for 10 days, but that's not law. But you don't want to, like, it's just something that you don't want to be seen not doing, because God, you could be costing lives, couldn't you? So we're going to be pretty strict with that. But as I said, like, who knows? Like, that could change by the time we go home in 2 weeks' time.
I hear there's a sheep farm you can probably go work at and be isolated with just sheep.
Up to the farm. I quite enjoy getting my hands.
No,
dirty in the farm.
I feel like she would be like, no, I got a quarantine. I can't come and help with lambs
That's
right
true.
now.
That's
No.
I can't come help. I'm busy.
You've been home for a month and a half. Nah, it's a long quarantine. Long quarantine.
They've changed it to 2 months.
What time of year did you shear the sheep?
Shearing takes place kind of midsummer. So my brother's actually, that's another thing that he does. He's got a shearing like business. So he'll go around all the farms and do that. It takes place it's kind of June, July time.
Okay.
But that's a horrible job to help out with. Like afterwards, you stink of just sheep, and it's just no fun.
It's a very informative show. I really enjoy that we're talking about golf and sheep shearing and lambing and not a lot of curling, which is fine for a curling show.
Yeah.
So what is your record for shearing a sheep, or do you not time yourselves?
I personally have sheared one sheep in my life,
Okay.
and it took a lot of time and it took a lot of help.
Yeah.
My brothers, they'll do 300-400 sheep a day.
Whoa!
Oh my God.
Holy crap!
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
They do, and apparently a day sheep shearing is the equivalent to like running a marathon, and they'll do that for weeks and weeks non-stop.
Wow.
Like it's crazy. It's like crazy, like the fitness you need and like the strain on their backs and I guess they do it for the money.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, you've never seen sheep shearing on Dirty Jobs, the episode of Dirty Jobs. So
I haven't, but it wouldn't surprise me if it comes in there. To be fair, there's a lot worse jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that sounds pretty bad though.
Well, you're out in the countryside, though, aren't you?
Yeah. Good point.
Okay.
But you're shearing sheep. I mean, you're not like out frolicking in the lupines.
Yeah, but
All right.
So back Eve.
Oh yeah.
Your bio says that you're a bagpipe player. Two questions. A, were you forced into it like piano lessons to kids? Did you come to it yourself? And did you ever walk a team on to the ice with a bagpipe?
She has done that.
I chose to play myself. Me and my best friend from school, she wanted to play the drums and I wanted to play the pipes. So off we went to lessons to the local band. And like me being as competitive as I am, once I start something, I just want to be like the best at it. So like I never ever gave up. Like I just drove my parents mad with me constantly practicing. Hate me for that. And I have also walked a team on at the Perth Masters and at the Continental Cup in Vegas I did.
Nice.
Dang.
Yeah. So it's like you probably could get 3 more Scottish things than like curling, golf, and bagpipes, and I do them all.
Yeah, I mean, like the only other thing you could do is like distill scotch. I mean, if you worked at a distillery in the off season.
You
Oh,
hate
Scotch.
Scotch?
All right.
Oh.
Well, we're not drinking.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not drinking
Yeah.
Scotch today.
I am.
Yeah.
Oh no, gin. Give me a gin any day.
A gin.
A gin.
Wow. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
no, a fan of Scotch. I've had. Do you know where I actually had a really bad experience with Scotch? Was at the Sick Kids charity event. Funnily enough.
I was like, is that what led to a tattoo?
Yeah.
I thought I'd be the cool Scottish girl, and it was like, "Oh, you must drink Scotch." Yeah, I drink Scotch. Get me a Scotch. Blah blah. A few later, I was not in a good way.
Hear
Since that day, you know when you have a drink and you're
Mm.
that rough and ill the next day, you just can't go near that drink again. That was that time.
That's it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was me and tequila.
Yeah, we've all. I think everybody's had that experience with tequila.
Yeah, there's
Tequila
Yeah,
at some
I don't
point.
mind tequila.
yeah,
I can
so-
drink that.
Yeah, it took me a while. But
Gin.
Mine was
tequila.
mine was Jack Daniels Super
Yeah.
Bowl Sunday 1997.
Oh, that was a good day though.
That was a great day, but I haven't had Jack Daniels since.
Nice. Yeah.
For reference, Eve, the Green Bay Packers won the Super Bowl that day.
Okay.
And
So
where-
the
and where
entire
from?
state of Wisconsin was
Celebrating.
essentially in full-on celebration mode.
Nice. And you just Jack Daniels trained too far.
Yeah, I rode that train right into the station, and
And
I
then
haven't left.
Straight into the
And then
wall.
through the station and into the dumpster that was just past the station.
Yeah.
That's
Nice.
funny.
Well, I was gonna ask like what distillery are you by? Like what Scotch should
Yeah,
we
well,
buy?
So I'm right by Blair Athol Distillery.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever tried Blair Athol. It is a kind of Scotch.
So,
I've not heard of that one.
There's Glen Turret's quite close to me. Aberfeldy. Have you heard of
Oh,
that?
do like the Aberfeldy.
All right, yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
close to me. It's
Okay.
maybe like from my hometown. It's like 30 minutes.
No, I'll allow
so-
that. I'll allow that. Great.
Yeah.
Perfect. But you don't like Scotch, so let's not talk about Scotch.
No,
Yeah,
let's.
stop talking about Scotch.
You and Bobby are a mixed doubles partners.
Yeah, like me and Bobby played quite a lot. Yeah.
Did
Bobby
Bobby Lammy, who's
second on
Bruce's team? Yeah.
Yeah.
Bruce Moll's team. You're not in the Worlds, are you?
No, we're not. Me and him weren't selected, so
But you won that.
unfortunately,
Did you win that Super League? Is that right?
yeah, we did. Yeah.
There you go.
So
But-
what's the Super League entail?
I don't know.
Who knows?
Um,
How does one? So I guess who's going
Well,
for Scotland, and
yeah,
then how does the selection work, or does nobody really know?
Well,
and you just-
so we played a lot of games all through the season, and me and Bobby won like the league. We played in a couple of tournaments as well, and we didn't win them.
Okay.
And like the way Scotland selects its teams now, it's like selection for men's, ladies, and mixed doubles, and unfortunately, selection went against us for mixed doubles, and there's not much you can do about that. We obviously sit and waiting on that phone call that day, and unfortunately, it wasn't us.
Got it.
Who's going?
Yeah.
Bruce and
And Jennifer in my team and Bruce.
Okay.
Yeah,
They're
like
not-
they'll do.
they're not
they'll do
awful.
Scotland.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
they're good. They're very good, and they'll do. They actually won the national championships like last year, and didn't get the chance to go to the world championships because of the cancellation. And like they'll do very well for Scotland. I know they will. It's going to be like a tough gig for Jen. Like she's basically going straight to Aberdeen from here. So it'll be a long haul, and Bruce, he got home today. He gets a couple of days off, and he'll be back in practicing, and then up to Aberdeen for the couple weeks. I guess it's the same. Like who else is here? Kerry Einerson. She's going to be doing
Yep.
the same.
Taz
I'm
Peterson.
sure you-
Yeah, Tats
Yeah.
Parsons.
Our-
We just talked to her last week, and
Yeah.
she's flying home for a day, like
Oh, does she
20
get the
24 hours, and then flying to Scotland.
Yeah, and I know likes of the Japanese player here. So she played the first Grand Slam, and then had to fly home to Japan. Has to isolate, and then fly back to Scotland, has to isolate, and then play the mixed double. So she missed the second slam because she had to go back to Japan and isolate.
That sounds
horrible. That sounds horrible.
Yeah,
that sounds awful. Craig asked this question last show. You, as far as we know, you don't have any children, but Rachel Holman came out and won a slam, and I think finished second, like 3 weeks out from having a kid. What, like, do you have any thoughts on that? That's bananas.
Oh my God, like that is like Superwoman. Like,
it's gonna be pretty intimidating at least.
It's when you think about it, it's pretty phenomenal what she's done. And obviously, I've not had kids, but everyone who I've spoken to who has had children just can't believe that she's done that. After 3 weeks of giving birth, she's back throwing stones, and I don't think she expected it herself in the way that they'd already announced that Emma was going to be skipping and they had Laura Walker there. But I guess she had practice the day before the slam, and everything was fine. So yeah, like it's unbelievable. And you look at her and you wouldn't even know she's had a kid. Like, she is something else, and like, you take your hat off to her. Like, coming first and then coming second is very good. And to have her little girl here as well with her mum was really cute.
Yeah,
so.
that's...
But let's just say, I'm sure if I have a kid one day, I don't think I'll be curling 3 weeks later.
Okay, we won't hold you to that.
I think that would make you like every other woman who's ever lived, basically.
Absolutely.
You wouldn't be playing in at high-level championship curling in that short amount of time. So I don't think that if you do have a child and you don't play, you have to feel bad about that. So,
no, I don't think I will. I'll be in isolation.
I think that's a good choice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. We know that you have a meeting to get to, so we're going to start with some of our questions that we ask at that we try and ask everybody. And I don't know; these are in no particular order. But how did you start curling? Was it just a family thing?
Yeah, it was. Like, my dad, he was a curler. He played at a pretty high level. And ever since kind of going along and watching him, like, you know, the way you just want to go on and play, don't you? And I remember he brought back from Canada from a trip, like, a wee pair of curling shoes and a wee brush. And after school every day, I'd be like straight down to the ice rink and throwing stones non-stop. So definitely through the family. And yeah, I guess it's thanks to my dad and my mum as well. Like, they were the ones that kind of drove me around the country when I was younger to allow me to curl, and then obviously were my piggy bank for many years when I was younger as well to help me out.
Nice.
When did you? We kind of asked this question to a couple people too. When do you think you got the like full-on curling bug? When did it really hit?
Yeah, I reckon when I was about 14, 15, when I got selected for like the kind of regional academy, and then you get selected for your national academy. And then I was lucky enough, well, I won the Scottish Junior Championships in 2007. And that's actually the Worlds were in Eveleth in Minnesota.
Sorry.
And then from then on, it was just go, go, go.
Nice.
Do you remember anything about your time in Eveleth?
There was lots of snow. I remember that. But
sounds
not
accurate.
really.
That story checks
Not
out.
really.
Yeah.
There's not a lot to Eveleth. You go to the curling club and a hotel and maybe a piece.
Maybe
remember
the
too
Hockey
much
Hall of Fame.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Probably
The
not.
U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame too. You could have gone there if that interested you. But,
Real quick, what do you call your home club, Eve?
My home club is Dunkeld Curling Club, but in Scotland, I think we do it slightly different to likes of you guys in Canada, because if you're associated with a club, it's like the ice rink, isn't it? Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. So there's in Scotland, each ice rink has many clubs associated with it, if that makes sense. So I'm part so I'm part of Dunkeld Curling Club, who compete. Well, you can compete at any ice rink, but mainly at Perth ice rink. So that's the club I'm part of, but I would say my home ice rink is Perth.
Right.
What club has the best Stovies?
Perth's the only one that I've ever had Stovies at, I think, to be honest.
Okay.
What's a Stovie?
All right, what's a
yeah,
Stovie?
what's
Like, you just
I
opened
don't know
a...
what a Stovie is.
You don't know what a Stovie is?
Something
Nope.
with potatoes,
No,
right?
sorry.
I don't know.
Yeah,
No.
corned beef and potatoes.
Oh, I'm in. I like corned beef, so I'm in. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
All right.
corned beef and potatoes, kind of like mashed up with like onions and things. Good with some ketchup.
With ketchup?
Yeah.
Ew.
I probably wouldn't want any ketchup,
All right.
but maybe. Well, I don't know. It is. I really don't want to badmouth you, but
Says the
British
Scottish girl who
British
doesn't
food's
drink
not known
scotch.
for its flavor, so maybe it does need ketchup. I don't know.
Maybe
Who
it does.
knows? Whatever.
I'm glad you explained what it is, because I've had it at like 3 different clubs over there, but I never actually knew what I was eating. So
There you go.
no.
They just handed you the ketchup bottle and said, "Here."
No, they just they asked if I wanted a Stovie, and I said, yeah, of course. So I don't know.
Very adventurous
I think
of you, Craig.
Yeah, I've had the Perth one. I think that was pretty good. I think I had one in maybe in Aberdeen, maybe in Green Acres. Is Green Acres the club with 3 sheets that are like halfway down the other sheets or something like that?
Green Acres is the club where there's like a couple sheets are like next door in a different kind of building, but the same building, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Like if you walk like halfway down the sheet, then you kind of go through a hole in the wall, and then there's like a couple more sheets over there, right?
Yeah.
That's a weird club. They got a cool mural on the wall, though, I think.
Green
Yeah, they
Acres
could do.
is the place to be.
Freezing, that club. Freezing.
All right. Okay, so along with this club conversation, or
let that
rink
one go.
conversation, as we'll say, besides any rink that you have ever considered your home rink, what is your favorite curling club in the world?
I would have to say probably Calgary Curling Club, and it's not just because I'm here, but like I've competed here a lot. They put on a great competition. The hospitality is great. The ice is always good. We practiced a lot here, like pre-Olympic, Olympic Games in Vancouver. This is where we had our holding camp. And you're literally just like a walk over the bridge to all the restaurants and hotels and things. So I would probably say Calgary is one of my favorite. Also Vancouver, I like Vancouver, but probably Calgary.
All right. What's your favorite Bonspiel?
My favorite Bonspiel has to be probably Bern Ladies in Switzerland. Like I love Switzerland. It's probably one of my favorite countries. And the Bern Ladies event every year it's a great event. Like they put on such a great competition for all the teams, and like you never come away disappointed.
That's a good answer. I've heard that before. So.
And is that a women's bonspiel, or is that a mixed or open, or what?
So it's a women's Bonspiel. I think
That's
years and years ago.
It's competitive, isn't it? Like that's pretty,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
all
I mean,
the
that's
top,
like big time.
all the top European teams, and you also get a lot of the North Americans and maybe a lot of the Asians as well coming over for it. So it's a good tournament, really good.
I like it.
If you had a walk-up song, so like in American baseball, like when the guy comes up to bat, they play a song for this person, and he can pick any song that he wants. If you had a song before you walked out,
this is quite random, but probably Nickelback.
No, don't say that, Eve.
We're not
No.
laughing. We're not laughing at all.
Nickelback. All right, which one?
I love Nickelback.
That's okay.
Okay, I don't really know. There's a lot of a lot of good songs they do. Nickelback, another one's maybe the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Really like them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any
song in particular?
Yeah,
or,
which particular song are you looking at
do
for
you have a particular
Nickelback?
song?
I don't really have a particular song, if I'm honest. I just like their music.
That's because they're all the same.
All right, that's fine.
Amy McDonald.
Whoop.
Have you heard of Amy McDonald, the Scottish singer?
Nope.
No, but we have Spotify. I'm sure she's on Spotify.
Yeah,
We can
Amy
check her out.
McDonald. She's good. I like
Okay.
her.
All right.
All right.
So
Maybe
Eve,
we
do
don't.
you know the status of Nickelback in the United States? Do you know that whole background story about Nickelback?
We don't have enough time.
We don't have enough time,
We don't
Garrett.
have
We don't have
enough
enough
time.
time.
We don't have enough time
I'm
to.
trying to explain while we were laughing.
I know.
at
No,
it.
we don't have enough time to explain what a terrible
Google
choice
it.
that is. But we'll
Google. it.
Yeah.
maybe another time.
Actually, Google.
Let's forget I even said that.
You want that edited out?
We'll edit that out.
what
We'll
you're
edit that out. Yeah.
Chili
No,
Peppers or Amy McDonald.
there.
All right.
Chili peppers.
We'll stop with that harassment. No. If you are going to a Bonspiel, it can be a fun spiel, it can be a competitive spiel, and it can be in any era. And you get to pick any teammates you want, alive or dead. Who are you gonna pick?
And you can take
That's hard.
you can take more than 4. We'll let you take like a 5 or a 6 person team if you feel like you need one.
Oh. Well, one I think would have to be Glenn Howard, just because I think he's a total curling legend. I've been lucky enough to work with him. He'll make a lot of shots.
Not right now.
Another,
You want like 2003 Glenn Howard?
yeah, but you
Okay.
said it.
All right, sounds good.
Probably another would be Vicky Chalmers, who I've curled with basically all my curling career, and she stepped away because she had a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But basically everything I've done within curling, she's been part of and part of my team. Another one, I would want to play with one of my brothers. I think that
Which
would.
one?
Oh no, I
Pick
can't.
one.
You can take them both. Just take them both.
Yeah.
And then
Whichever
add
one
one
you're
more
not
person.
shearing sheep.
No, you gotta pick one. Which one do you
You
like more?
gotta pick one.
No,
Putting you on the
I can't.
just one.
I'll take them both.
whichever one's not lambing at the time.
Yeah.
That's the
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or
Or,
she.
or you
Whichever
or you could
one's
pick
not
the
lambing or
traits from
shearing.
one brother. You
Whichever
could pick
one's
the
not
traits from one
sheeping
brother
the
and the traits of another brother.
Yeah. No,
Um,
we're not letting her off that easy.
Both of them.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
And who else?
Take one more person.
Probably one of the Swedish girls. Like, we get on very well with them. Sarah, she's got a Scottish background.
All right.
I was lucky enough to play with them at the Champions Cup when Anna was at the mixed doubles worlds, and like we got on great,
Oh, that's right.
and they were a lot of fun. So yeah, I'd have one of them.
You
Or
skipping?
if I could have
You can skip it, or you're gonna let Glenn skip?
Glenn can skip. Glenn can skip.
Glenn
I'm
will
not
skip.
sure he'd
That's
be very
very
good.
nice. We'll let him. We'll make sure he knows.
Yeah.
He'll appreciate that.
I'm sure you're a better sweeper than Glenn is. So.
Oh, I would like to think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say so. Yeah.
Nice.
Did you know that Glenn used to have a mustache? We just talked about that a couple weeks ago.
I did. I've seen pictures of that.
Oh,
I think
it was-
we're trying to convince him that he should grow it back. What do you think?
Definitely not. There's nothing worse than that kind of grey, strangly mustache. A guy.
Oh man, I think you could look
Well,
real. I think you
We
could look
weren't
real
necessarily
distinguished.
saying that it was going to look good on him.
Yeah.
We just
Yeah,
thought he should grow
that's
it.
not.
So
That's not the point.
I think Glenn
Yeah.
needs. I think Glenn needs the white tight beard like you got right now, Brownie. Like the 5 o'clock shadow, maybe day and a half. It'd be all white. He'd look real distinguished. I think with that. I think it'd look real
Yeah.
sharp. Probably
I
not though.
just have 2 kids, and I didn't have enough time when I got out of the shower to
That's fine.
shave.
Maybe
So.
maybe Scott should grow a mustache. That's what I think should happen.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Does anybody else have any questions? Because I know that she's got to go to a meeting.
She's
You
gotta
got a
go,
hard out in 7 minutes.
Eve, you can mention your sponsors.
Oh yeah, sponsors.
Yeah,
you got
well,
for sponsors?
Goldline have been a long time sponsor for ourselves, and like we love working with them. So Goldline, the Fairmont in St Andrews, give us great access to all their facilities and the golf courses and things. Nobis, we have a great relationship with the guys from Nobis for all our outer weather wear. And us poor Scots don't really have many sponsors, if I'm perfectly honest. So they're the main ones for ourselves. And lucky enough at this tournament, we've got Savills, who are main sponsors for the slams and for the Worlds next week.
Awesome. Well,
so
go ahead.
Should we, next time we're in Scotland, we should be talking to you to get all the accommodations in St. Andrews, both on and off the course?
I can help, yes.
Okay.
All right. I am so in right now. All right. Eve, it has been an absolute treat. You are have just been a joy to have on the show. We've enjoyed your stories. Yeah, I don't know if we have anything else. It is awesome. Thank you for joining us. Good luck at Worlds. Good luck at Worlds. Just enough not to beat the U.S. I mean, we're not,
We
win
know
all
that
the games except against Tabs. So,
which is your first game?
Yeah,
it is my first game.
That is your first game. So,
all right, well,
go Tabs.
Go Tabs, and then Eve
and
game after
and then
that.
go Eve after that.
Yes.
1-2 final, gold, silver. Yeah, that's it. All right. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah, join us again sometime. All right, everybody, that's it for episode 16 of the Curling Nation podcast. We hope you enjoyed it. Our first year on the show. Eve was a lot of fun. I mean, she could read the phone book and I'd be okay with it. But if you want to get in touch with the show and tell us what other Euros you want us to interview, let us know. You can email the show, CurlingNation@CurlingNetwork.com. We're also on Facebook, Twitter at Curling Nation. I almost said Curling Network. That would have been dumb. Then we would have had to do it again. Instagram, we're at The Curling Nation. If you want to send a couple bucks to the show, we're on Venmo at Curling Nation. PayPal, we're at CurlingNation@CurlingNetwork.com. Otherwise, you can listen to the show on all the major ones. Otherwise, you can check out your favorite podcatcher. I'm sure we're out there. YouTube, if you want to watch us or watch Eve. I mean, who wouldn't? Thanks again to alchemy.com for sponsoring the show. That's ALQIMI. Joel did a great job at the beginning of the show telling us what they do. I really don't think I have anything else. It's going to be a little while for our next show after the curling bubble. Check out US Nats, probably on usacurling.com or something. I don't know. Where are they going to be? Who knows? TESN.com. I have no idea.
Check out USA Curling's social network feeds. It'll be out there.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. Episode 16. For myself, Mike McDermid, Joel Dietz, Craig Brown, Garret Perry. That's all we got. Out. Good curling, everybody.